Wow. I like it. This, the one on him? Mm. Oh, okay, gotta go. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Temple Israel. So before we do anything, I just want to say it's so nice to see all of you here.
Welcome back.
It's really, last night Rabbi Michael and I walked into services, and it has just been so long since we had anyone else in this space, and we saw all the kippots just out there waiting, and we saw the sign out there for Lucas, and it felt really good. And so now being able to look out and see all of these people who we know so well is really, really special. And we're so delighted that you can be here with us to celebrate Lucas today. And for all of Lucas's friends and our community who are watching at home, we are so grateful that you are here. And while we very much wish that you could be here in person, we know that you are all watching, that you are cheering Lucas on, and that you are helping us celebrate this day. So maybe the one other thing I would add is just to say that we know that this day is different than you all planned, obviously, and so
this night is different than
right, exactly. In so many ways, this is not what we expected, and God willing, we are in this place where in the months ahead that things will get better and better. But I will say that Lucas, knowing that you are becoming a bar mitzvah during this time is not something that any of us worried about. Because the hardest thing about being a bar mitzvah in this strange time is that basically you are going to be up here solo. And of all the students, I really don't think we had any concerns, Lucas Padratzik, that you could handle this on your own. So what we're going to do is Rabbi Michael and we are going to chime in the service when you need a little bit of extra assistance or when there's a communal role. For the most part, though, it's going to be you. So we're going to start with singing Ma Tovu, which is on page 172. If you wish to follow along, you will. We are encouraging people still to not really sing at full voice, but you can always sing just a little bit just so that we can share some music together. Ma Tovu, Alecha Yaakov, Alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Ma Tovu, Alecha Yaakov, Alecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Va'ani berov chastecha avodetecha eshtachave elecha l'kodshecha b'yiratecha ma tovu alecha Yaakov, alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael, ma tovu alecha Yaakov, alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. So it is now our honor to invite our bar mitzvah to lead us in this morning's service. Yamo Lavi ben Bera v'teva habar mitzvah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Our service begins on page 170 in the Blue Prayer Book. May my life be one link in a chain of goodness. As I say the prayers of my ancestors, help me to recall their devotion and faithfulness. To join suffering, or turn every war, holiness is my heritage. May I be worthy of it. May our tradition live in me, and pass from me to generations I shall never know. Enriched by the truth that I have found, and the good deeds I've done. So may I fulfill my task on earth, and receive my blessing. And when the service ends and prayers have ceased, help me to bring their spirit into the world which I live in. May I love God above all, and my neighbor as myself, and be a living witness to the truth that never changes. Please turn to page 195 and rise for the call to worship. Yada-da-da, yada-da-da-da, 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 yada-da-da-da. Baruch hu et Adonai ha-mevorach. Baruch Adonai ha-mevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yada-da-da-da, 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 yada-da-da-da. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvrei choshech, osei shalom uvrei et hakol, hama'ir le'aretz ve'ladarim, Elohei barachamim, u'tuvo mechadesh, b'kol yom tamid, ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kelum b'chochma asita, me'elei ha'aretz kininyecha, tet barach Adonai Eloheinu, al shavach ma'aseh yadyecha, ve'al morei or she'asita, yafa ruach salah, or chadash al Zion ta'ir, v'nizkeh kulanu meher le'oro, Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'me'oro. The world is sunlight, rejoicing the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes, more welcome than gold. A Torah from heaven, I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'me'orot. We join in singing the Shema at the top of page 200. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. Ve'afta et Adonai Elohecha be'kol v'chol v'cha uv'shokom yodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzabecha hayom avlecha ve'nishtata levitecha v'dadpadpa bam b'shitecha uveitecha uvdechacha uvaderech Uvshem kam leot dayadecha, bayu atatafot beniyecha, uvtavtam amuzot beitecha, ufi sharecha, leman tizkeru ve'atzitem et mitzvotai, ve'tem kedoshim lelechem. Ani Adonai Elechem, asher otzeit yetem be'eretz Mitzrayim, Liot lechem Elohim, Ani Adonai Elechem. Sing the song of men and women, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children, the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
בחוגלים, לשמך שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Please turn to page 205 and rise for the tefillah. Adonai, seftav tita ufia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'lam Nora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Socher Hased Avodim Ba'ot, Uv'minei Galev Lifnei Vehem, L'man Shemo B'Yaba, Zera Mashimo Magin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekareu V'Tzat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Atah Rav Yeloshia, Mechakeh Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Ramim, Somech Novim Borchech Olim, Umatir Rasurim, Umekayem Emato, Lishenei Alfar, Michamocha B'Kivarot, Umidol Le'olam, Melech Mini Tumekayeh, Umashnir Yeshua, V'nemataya Leho Tako, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayei Hakol. You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the doorframe, I begin to enter your glory. You move me, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold, that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions, waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, Eternal Teacher. Encourage my seeking. As I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so I shall be filled. Send me through your door, stretching to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, kem shem shemati shi'o tobish memaro, kakatu al yad neviecha, v'kara zel zever amar, kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melok kol haaretz, kevodo. Adir, adirenu Adonai, Adonenu ma'adir, Shimcha b'kol haaretz, Baruch kevod Adonai, Nimkamo. Echad hu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Milkeinu, Hu Moshienu, V'Hu Yoshienu, Baruch Amalei Kol Chai. Ani Adonai Elechem, Imloch Adonai Leolam, Elochai Yetzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah. Ledor Vador Nadgid Gad Lecha, Unetzach Netzachim Kedushak Nakdish, V'Shachet Eloheinu Mipinu Leomush Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
All right, Lucas, we're going to let you take a break for a minute. I'll invite everyone to be seated. Amazing. I wish you could just see that Brad just gave Lucas a thumbs up, and he's like, whatever, no big deal, right? Because it's such a breeze to you. But here's the thing. It is amazing to the rest of us. You are doing such a beautiful job leading this service, and now we are getting to this point, which is, Rabbi Michael,
the main event. So I feel like there's so many people that are in front of me that actually know my shtiklach that it's a little embarrassing to do this.
This is the already had their
Yeah,
bar mitzvah, and this is the soon-to-be bar mitzvah.
Well, when I said welcome back, I really meant it. So the service is a continuum. It is the story of Jewish civilization, the history of the world, not to bring up Mel Brooks, but maybe a little bit, the history of the cosmos. And you began by describing the beginning, the creation of all of the cosmos. And then we got specific. We went into the idea of Jewish civilization and how it started with the matriarchs and the patriarchs. And then we went into Egypt, which was really, really terrible. And we sang the Mi Chamocha, which was really, really wonderful. And we left Egypt. And in between, there was this time where Moses had an amazing event. And that's going to be described in great detail today. But before we got to that event, we really schlepped in the desert for a long time. And then we got to Mount Sinai, and we experienced revelation. And that is what Lucas is going to be offering us, nothing less than this morning. So creation, revelation, and then ultimately, after hearing his words, we will speak words of redemption, words of being brought to a higher place, a holier place, that we all can live a better life in.
So we recognize that when we are reading the Torah, that it's not just Lucas who's reading these holy words today, that they're really words that have been passed down from one generation to the next, and just as they literally have been in this family, so too we do it spiritually by being able to symbolically pass the Torah from one generation to the next. Now, obviously, because of COVID, we don't want to do so much touching and so much standing close to each other, so instead, we're just going to have Lucas's immediate family, and so Jacob is going to help us take the Torah from the ark and pass it from his parents down to Lucas, just as he did just a few years ago. And we'll ask everyone else to please rise. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu l'har kodesho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu l'har kodesho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. So Lucas, we pass you this Torah knowing that your grandparents and those who came before you are passing it symbolically to you as well. Ki emitzion tetzeh Torah. Ki emitzion tetzeh Torah. Udevar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo Lecha Adonai Hagedul V'Givul V'Tiferet V'Hanetzach V'Hod Hicho B'Shamayim U'Va'aretz Hicho B'Shamayim U'Va'aretz Lecha Adonai HaMamlacha V'Minaseh L'Chol Erosh. Beautiful. Everyone, please be seated.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'chabanu mikol ha'amim v'natalanu et Torto. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayishma Yitro Chochen Midan Chote Moshe Et Kol Asher Asa Elohim LeMoshe uYisrael Amo Ki Hotzi Adonai Et Yisrael MiMitzrayim Vayikach Yitro Chote Moshe Et Zipporah Ishet Moshe Hahar Silochecha Ve'et Shnei Vaneha Asher Sham Ha'echad Gershom ki amar ger hayiti beretz nokriya. V'shem chaychad Eliezer ki Elohei aviv be'ozri v'yatzileni mecherev paro. Vayavo Yitro chotein Moshe uvenav yishto el Moshe al hamdaber asher hu chana sham har Elohim. Vayomer el Moshe, Ani hotencha Yitro, ba Elohei vishtoch, v'shenei vanecha ima. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natalanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
In case you were wondering, that was awesome. All right, so now Brad is going to lift it so we can actually see what was just read.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. This is the Torah which Moshe placed before the people of Israel, God's word through the hands of Moshe.
Beautiful. Nicely done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'mi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai chabocher b'torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uvivniem ha'emet v'tzedek. Bishnat mot hamelech Eziyahu ve'era et Adonai Yoshev al kiseh ram v'niseh v'shulav me'elim et chachechol sarafim amodim mim'al lo shesh kenafim le'echad. Bishnatayim yachaseh fanav, uvishtayim yachaseh ragalav, uvishtayim ya'ofef. V'kara zeh ve'amar, kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzefaot, melo kol haaretz kevodo. Ve'yaneu omot hatzipim mikol hakoreh ve'habait yimalei asan. Ve'omar oili ki nidmeti ki ishteme safatayim anochi uvtoch am teme safatayim anochi yoshev ki et hamelech Adonai tzevaot ra'u enai va'yaof Eli achad mi haserafim uvayado ritzipa b'melchakayim lekach me'el hamizbeach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzul kol ha'olamim tzadik b'kol hadorot האל הנאמן, האומר ויוצא, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנמלים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנחה, לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל. אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Good morning to my family here at Temple and my fellow colleagues who are watching online. Hey people online, you still awake? Good. Thank you all for being a part of my bar mitzvah. I'm excited to have carried on a great tradition of being a bar mitzvah and leading the congregation in this service this morning. In my Torah portion, it talks about the experience that Moshe had on his journey to Mount Sinai. I can relate to this because it is similar to my preparation for my bar mitzvah. There are hours of practice, some good, some bad, even fun. There were ups and downs in Moshe's story, too, like the golden calf and 10 commandments. Moshe had to practice speaking and begin a leader to the Jewish people. All of this experience will give me a better understanding of what Jewish life will be like as I get older. It also talks about when Moshe came across the burning bush. The bush that burns regrows eternally while teaching us something new every time. It is kind of like Groundhog Day during this pandemic. The days feel the same, but everything keeps moving forward, and we learn how to get comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. We are learning how to keep each other safe and remain healthy. For example, wearing masks, practicing good hand hygiene, and social distancing. In my Haftorah, God calls and asks who will lead us. Isaiah says, I will. I think this means that it was time for Isaiah to step up and be a leader for the Jewish people and to spread the word of God. For me, stepping up and deciding to become a bar mitzvah and putting the work during these unprecedented times making this journey more difficult. Being a leader can mean different things to different people. But to me, it means doing the things that most people don't want to do, and do it with a smile on my face. One of the ways that I've tried to do is to do charity work. Over the past 2 years, I've raised money for Pedal the Cause, which is a charity that means a lot to my family. I want to send a special thank you to Adele for helping me prepared for today. Also to my great teachers and teachers at Saul Merowitz, who have encouraged me during this adventure, and both to Rabbi Amy and Rabbi Michael for spending time with me to discuss my Torah and Haftorah portion, and how it relates to me. Lastly, I cannot forget to thank all my grandparents, cousin, my brother, and my mom and my dad. In conclusion, there are many lessons that we can all learn from my Torah and Haftorah portions. I think that we can all be leaders in our communities, and don't be afraid to do what is right. Sometimes life will give you lemons. Well, instead of squirting them, you eyes, you silly, because that would hurt. Make some lemonade and share it with your friends. Even as a 13-year-old, I can help lead by example and encourage others to do the same. Find a charity that you like and make an effort to give back. If you see it wrong, try to make it right. I believe that Jewish values are not something to learn for a bar mitzvah, but a way of living a good and positive life. Aleinu v'shabachatu. Wait. Oh.
Well, Lucas, you did it. We're so proud of you and everything that you've accomplished. You have worked so hard every day, working with Adele, working with the rabbis. We're so, so proud of you. But I know that when you put your mind to it, you can do anything, and that's what your dad and I are so proud of. I know you've worked so hard that each day you've practiced, and when you would get in the car, you would say, "Mom, we're just going to make the best of it." Because as we said before, and the rabbis have said, this isn't what we pictured for your bar mitzvah, but we made the best of it. And you definitely did a great job.
Okay. You're grown up to be an incredible young man.
Oh, Cat. Come on, Father.
You're compassionate, have a strong sense of right and wrong, and the courage to stand up for your beliefs. You've been found to stick up for your classmates when they're being teased or bullied, and sometimes even bringing in your brother's muscle to help with the cause. Whether you know it or not, those qualities are what makes a great leader. Even as a toddler, there wasn't someone who you wouldn't befriend. Mommy and I called you the mayor. You are a friend of many, and they are lucky to have you in their lives. You are very creative, and we hope you will continue to be an independent thinker. We hope that you find something you are passionate about, follow your own path, and use your talents to have a great career in whatever you choose. May all those videos of you singing when you were little, "It's a Small World After All," or telling us which Mario characters are the best on your iPad when you were little, will lend itself to you becoming a famous YouTuber or working for Apple. Who knows? But we will be watching you with encouragement and delight. Continue to use your great sense of humor, which you get from your mother, to keep things in perspective, and remember to laugh and enjoy this ride we call life.
We hope that you always know that no matter what problems you face, you always have the help and support and the love of your parents and family. You have brought more joy and happiness to your father and me than you will ever know. Just in being yourself and giving us the pleasure of watching you grow in this wonderful young man who stands before us today. As you take your place among the Jewish men of your generation, may God grant you a long, healthy, and peaceful life, and may God help you to be the change you want to see in the world. We love you.
All right, Lucas. So first, I get to give you a few things, and we're just going to hold them up here so that we can, we'll give them to you later. First, we have a special gift from us at Temple Israel to you. We hope that you are able to use it on all of your most special and sacred occasions in the year to come. We also hope that as your Jewish journey continues, that one of the places that you will go is the land of Israel. Maybe you'll even go with me and Rabbi Michael, and so we have a little gift certificate to get you going there. And then we have this certificate that says that indeed today, Lucas Daniel Padratzik, you became a bar mitzvah. And I have to say, as we were signing this certificate, and I thought your name was Levi, but it's Lavi, which is interesting because that means something different. And I was really thinking about why would that be that you would have a different name. So Levi would mean my heart, but Lavi is to come, right? So I think there's something kind of beautiful about this idea that in some ways your name really has two parts in it, both of which I think fit you so beautifully. Lev, which really means heart. And you clearly are the heart of this family, and you are so adored by everyone in this room and your whole community. And we all just love you so much. And of course, Valentine's Day weekend, why wouldn't that be true? But I think this idea of Levi, which really means that you bring yourself fully to every single thing you do, that you are really someone that we can always count on. And can I say one more thing before you do it? So the other thing that I just want to say is, as you were reading today, and this was true in your rehearsals as well, and Adele would send us little snippets, because the way that you lead the service is so awesome and so unlike anyone else, because in both the Hebrew and the English, sometimes we just say these words and we forget about what they mean, but you speak with such absolute passion and intention that it makes people listen. And I have to say, I was thinking this morning that years ago we had a gentleman in the congregation who was here for many, many years who used to read the book of Jonah every single year on the high holidays, and he spoke very similarly to you with such intention and direction that people knew what he was saying, even if they didn't understand Hebrew. And then we walked in and I saw your kippos with the whale on them, and I don't know why there's a whale, but I feel like it's a sign. So if you're willing, Rabbi Michael and
If you're wondering what's happening right now, Rabbi Amy is trying to recruit you.
I am. So your
They're
dad,
like, what is she
your
doing?
dad said that you could be a YouTuber, but I'm like, well, maybe he could be a rabbi, or at least in the meantime, maybe you could read some Jonah for us on the high holidays, because I feel like you might be next in line for that tradition. So it doesn't have to be right away. You get to take a break after your bar mitzvah, but you certainly have the talent to just bring to life whatever it is that you do from the Bima and everywhere else.
I just think it's really hysterical and such a comment on the Jewish community that the second that you do well, you become recruited to lead high holidays. I think that's very funny. So be careful of doing well in the Jewish community. You might end up in charge of it. I have my spouse to as a
I was not that good.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm just looking at the GoPro cam up here. It's just amazing, all the action. I thought of all the different cameras that could be on us, and there are many right now. The GoPro cam is the most appropriate because it's been a real ride. I feel like I'm on a BMX bike. And I just want to get centered for a second and look out at some of the people who are here and take a moment to think about those who are not with us but are watching. And I'd like you, Lucas, just to turn around and look at everybody. Just take a moment of mindfulness and just see the people that are here. I also just want to comment that there are many people here who throughout the years, yourself and your family included, I just recall over and over again seeing year in and year out coming to high holidays. And as your father was speaking, and he began to weep, I began to weep, thinking about all these years. And yeah, you don't just have a bar mitzvah. You become one. And you became one over the course of many years. I also thought to myself, as I saw you standing by yourself, of the many people over the centuries who stood and learned Torah in places like Venice and the ghettos there, and in places like Toledo, which had walled structures to hold Jewish people in Spain. And I thought to myself, how did they get the strength? How come they decided, let's just keep going. Let's keep studying Torah. Let's compose symphonies. And then you would show up to our house and sit at our table and bring all this light into the room, which, by the way, Moses is famous for having done. There's a famous picture from the Renaissance. Didn't turn out very well. Nebuch. We'll talk about it another time. You are a light unto the community. You are a light unto your family. And you showed us that in times of tremendous adversity, one can take on incomprehensible responsibility. That's Torah. That's tremendous. And I have to tell you, you inspired me. You inspired me, and I think you inspired a lot of other people today. I don't want you to forget that the second that we heard you speak Torah, we said we should have him in high holidays leading the entire congregation. Because that's the kind of response that you evoked in us. And I think it's because so many of the people in this room have been there over the years. over high holidays, bar mitzvah, confirmation, and it gives us a sense that things are going to go on. So the last thing I would say is thank you for giving us hope. Thank you for giving us a sense, really, of tikva, that it's going to keep going. The party's going on. And we don't have to say, Oi Lee! Oi Lee! That was the best part. Which roughly translated means what it sounds like. And you did a tremendous job. Mazel tov, kol hakavod, and until the next time we see you on the bima, congratulations.
Labor Day weekend, by the way. So,
No pressure.
so we usually take this moment and we give the priestly blessing. And while theoretically we would love to be able to do it and actually place our hands upon you, we can't do that. So instead, we're going to ask everyone to please rise. And we're going to do this with our hands. You can make the Star Trek thing, which is what the priest did, or you can just sort of hold your hands so that you're like directing all your goodness towards our bar mitzvah boy here. May God bless you and keep you.
May God's light that you brought into this room and into our living room, may it be brought with you for the rest of your life and into the days of generations ahead.
May be granted with wholeness and with peace. Lucas, Mazel Tov, you were amazing. So we are now going to sort of conclude our service. We're going to return the tour of the Ark. And Rabbi Michael, can I get you to do that hard work for us?
And that one prayer that Lucas started.
We're almost there.
We're right there.
Just 1 second. Ashlosha devarim, Ashlosha devarim, Ashlosha devarim, Torah ve'avoda ve'agemilut chasadim, Torah ve'avoda ve'agemilut chasadim. And now the Aleinu can be found on the bottom of page 282. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo atzanu kigoyei ha'artzot, velo asamanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchakenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And by special request, Shehu noteh shamayim vayosed haaretz u'moshav yakaro b'shamayim ima'al u'shchinatu zo begave meromim u'Eloheinu einot emet malkeinu efezulato kakatu b'torato v'yadata yom v'hashavota elavavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim v'shamayim ima'al v'yaretz mitachad einod. And for Lucas, einod. Beautiful. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. And even though we are coming together in a time of joy, and truly it is a time of joy, not just because it's your bar mitzvah, but this is also Rosh Chodesh Adar, which is the first day of the month of Adar, and this is supposed to be the happy month. So everyone get excited. This is our joyful time is beginning, but still we acknowledge that even in our times of joy that there is loss. And we're thinking today of all of those people who we wish could be here with you, but who are here in spirit and whose memories are a blessing to you. We're thinking today of Julius Edelstein, Uncle Murphy, of Morris Padratzik and Lillian Padratzik, of Tilly Siegel, Dorothy Murphy, Thomas Murphy, Albert Simmons, and Mary Simmons. So thinking of all of them and the names that we're thinking in our hearts, we join in the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294.
Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba, be'alma divra chirte v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'gala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaled v'yitalal shmei dekudisha barichu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba mishamaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. We sing, amen. Osei shalom b'imramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Well, my friend, you have said the holy words. You did a remarkable job, and now it's time to eat and drink. So it is our pleasure to invite up the cousins. So cousins, come on up. Mari and Jared and Owen and Max, and you guys are going to help lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. And we have Kiddush cup here. There's some challah there. How about Kiddush first? So if someone raise, Mari, you want to raise the glass?
You raise the glass.
Okay. It's juice either way. You're both. Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen. Amen. Yeah. Owen and Max, do you guys want to unwrap the challah? You don't have to actually eat it if you don't want to, but it is good. Unwrap it, yeah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech
Motzi lechem haaretz. Amen.
Now we get to sing you out the door so you can go eat. Simon tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, and simon tov, simon tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simon tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, and simon tov, yeilanu, 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 u'lecho Yisrael, yeilanu, yeilanu, yeah, u'lecho Yisrael, yeilanu, yeilanu, u'lecho Yisrael. That was the best swagger out of a bar mitzvah ever. Good. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh my gosh. So glad.
I'm so terrified. I have to say, like, I'm so proud. I'm so excited. It's really, it's a little bit of stress rehearsal. Like the other day. Like, yeah, it's hard. Okay, so the secret is your name is Lamed Bet, which is 32. If you have 36, you can save the world. That's Lamed Vav. So you plus 4 superheroes is a team that can save the world.
Nice. The dream team. Forget about the Avengers.
It's so cool. It's really great.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's my pocket. Coolest yarmulke ever.
Are you where was Halloween in mine? Oh, that's awesome. My partner today. You forgot.
I'm not so good. I don't know. Yeah, I was staring at it the whole beginning.
And I love the green and blue.
Why the whale? Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's so cool. I was like, Jonah? Here we go. It's funny. I don't think you can honestly open the ark with one person. I think you kind of need 2 people.
Oh no, when you did the line, it was just so awesome.
But that was totally like our teachers in rabbinical school, and like when what's his name did it, Harry Offenbach did it. It was totally.
Oh, it's fine.
It rang. It rang a bell. Like in my.
Do you want to do some of that?
And he was just having so much fun with it. He was like kicking it around like it was a toy. It's like.
Yeah, well, let's do
Whatever you guys, whatever you need.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Whatever the shot is. Like,
It's with you, Rabbi.
It's with us.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Can do like a parallax shot?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to take my mask off so you can see me smiling.
Smiling with my eyes.
Yeah.
All right, so Brad, do you remember Harry Offenbach reading Jonah? I don't, Teresa, I bet you must have heard him over the years. Do you remember ever hearing Harry Offenbach
he's like really
read the
an
book of
old
Jonah?
guy. And you know I get emotional when I start spouting Yiddish.
So
Like
he-
it's like a it made me so emotional.
Because how long have you guys been married for? So
Really?
you might have heard him at some point. I don't remember how long
That's
ago
the
he
right
stopped.
answer, I think. That's what I was. Whatever she
But
said.
he would read the book of Jonah in like the most amazing way. And I remember even when I was a kid and I didn't know any Hebrew, and it was just he talks
Their
like
gift shop.
Lucas, like just with
Here.
such like here, just here, let me just hold this for a second. Yeah, exactly. But also like he makes you understand what the words mean, even if you don't know the language. And I was like, oh my god, like, this is like the only other person I've ever heard who can do that. So.
You're fine. You know how we
It's
should
like,
play.
you know what?
Oh, boy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, it's okay for the photo. It's okay if it's.
All right. Do we want the whale in front though? Here. On the side. All right. Styling.
Styling, profiling.
Awesome. Nicely done. All right, now you finally get to go eat and celebrate. You were so good with this. This is really good.
What's he get to us? I'll close it up. Yeah, I should call it. Wow. Man. And when you started to speak, and then he got quiet, everybody, oh, this is beautiful. I should be so strong. I should have that strength.
Oh, I'm a puddle.
You
Oh my
know
God,
what?
Michael, like,
You
grabbed
did
my hand
great.
so
I was
hard.
thinking, I was like, that's me, and I better get it together. And I'm not. And you did a great job. That's really like,
Yeah.
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 No, I was already bawling with you. I'm like, God, I'll cry if I can cry now. That's I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you do all your trying out. You're gonna be totally fine.
And you when you see, you're like, Dad, it's totally John's gonna say this. He's gonna be like so
No,
annoyed.
he's fine. He's gonna be
You know, but you were a mensch too. You listened to
He's
your
used
dad.
to me yelling at him.
Oh well.
It's good. You're gonna really good. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys,
All right,
go
go have
enjoy.
fun. Yeah, go do what you
Thank
do.
you.
And Mazel tov.